On 31st March 2022, a concerned citizen took to his Twitter posting images of a dumping site in Entebbe where medical waste had been dumped. The photo caught our eye and we took to the road to investigate this photo and get to the bottom of what could be an environmental crime happening just a few meters away from Lake Victoria. On reaching the area in Entebbe, which we got to learn is called Nkumba Bukora, we found the waste still lying there, and whereas we can illustrate the scale of this dump, we cannot illustrate the stench here. A waste dump right in the middle of a residential area.
A garbage collecting center, you get the county because you have for a very long time, and almost telling a main dumping center almost with the whole of Entebbe. Because zinemotoka zetulaga zino is handling other services, collecting domestic garbage. They collect, they never dumping almost 90%.
The locals we speak to here complain of the awful stench coming out of this landfill.
Ekivundu kiva wansi eyo nosoka yobuuza n'ekiwunyanga ekivundu kiba kiyinza okuyisa obubi kati waliwo abantu abamu nga bammeeme embi bwe kiba kikujjidde sookusinduukirira sasira ab'olubuto kale nga bali kumpi n'omukyala w'olubuto n'omuntu ng'alina emmeme esikuuka mangu kisobola omwiso
sasira atuwunyirira yes naffe twaguma betusala naffe olumu tufunamu obulwadde olw'enguudo nawe ozirabye zetuyisiramu kasasi akazi affe zimenyeka biki era yange yafiirayo wansi togira.
But the stench is the least of their worries, as we soon find hazardous waste lying out in the open here. The landfill has everything from used gloves to cotton to bottles of used medicine, syringes, sanitary pads, test kits, and even blood.
Biberamu byonna ebyo biberamu kale tukiyita n'abaana ebiberamu ebisaasayi nga bisibiddwa mu kabibeera ebyo
Kati ebyana ino bijjawo kubanga
bibeerawo grade era yebijjawo nga kati bw'obiraba ebikyali awo greda yenejja n'ebijjawo ate okumpi n'abaawo waliwo abaana maka g'abantu abaana bajja ne bazannya kati kibeera kiri risk ennyo.
In Nkumba, we also find used COVID-19 personal protective equipment, PPE, lying there in the open landfill.
Abaana bagenziyo balondalonda ebikebe ebyuma biki balondalonda kasasi bwe babaagadde kyetumina.
According to the National Environment Waste Management Regulations of 2020, a person who generates healthcare waste shall categorize the waste as hazardous or non-hazardous waste. Hazardous healthcare waste includes sharp waste, including needles, hypodermic needles, scalpels, blades, knives, and infusions. Infectious waste, including waste contaminated with blood and other body fluid, cultures and stocks of infectious agents from laboratory work, and waste from infected patients in isolation wards. Pathological waste, including waste consisting of tissues, organs, body parts, blood, body fluids, and other waste from surgery and autopsies on deceased persons with infectious diseases. Pharmaceutical waste, including cytotoxic and genotoxic waste and expired, unused, split, and contaminated pharmaceutical products. The law also states that a person who generates healthcare waste and a waste handler authorized to manage healthcare waste shall ensure that the waste is managed in a manner that does not cause harm to human health or the environment and is segregated and handled differently. Key among the reasons NEMA puts out for segregating this waste is to prevent infectious healthcare waste from harming human health, the environment, or transmission of infection. The law further prohibits infectious healthcare waste, non-biodegradable plastics, polythene bags, tires and glass from being dumped at landfills as such as this. We found used cotton, surgical gloves, sanitary pads, and other material used in hospitals dumped all over this landfill. It is, however, clear for us that these categories of waste make up the largest percentage of items dumped here. And whereas the law also prohibits setting up landfills next to water bodies, this one is literally on the shores of Lake Victoria, the source of water for the people living here.
Enyoka ekiyinza kuba kyafetinga nnyanja kuba biri kumpi na nnyanja.
It is also just feet away from a residential area. Some of the waste is dropped along the main access road here. Due to the dumping site's proximity to the residential areas, some residents have decided to use the opportunity to make cash out of the trash.
Bamutwala era bamujja ku dumping yennyini naye balina ekifo kye bamuteekamu eri wansi ddala nolweba nga batuukayo bamuteeka eyo mu kifo kya wansi olwedde nga waliwo n'ebintu ne bamuziikako naye wansi wonna tutambulirawo naye waliwo watuuka n'omuyiwa buyiiyaawo kati ffe nga ffe abantu tusobola okwekolamu omukolo nga ffe abakolerayo bakwekolamu omukolo tumuziikako naye nga kituufu tewaliwo kinya nti ye waliwo ekinya kyayiibwamu yekka nga redde eyo yonna damping kugamba ekyo kyonna tukiyita nga kinya naye kati olwekubula emirimu n'embeera y'ensi eno kati ffe tuba tulina okweyizaawo emirimu olwegibaayo gibeera gya ekitegeeza gibeera gya mbeera mbi ate simanyi ne bakucunga ne bikola bitya naye ate awo gwe kennyini weebeereramu nga gw'omuntu ekitegeeza n'omanya ano wenza okukolera wakyamu neweekuuma nga gw'omuntu naye ffe kennyini tetumanyi engeri bw'aba nga zze ekituufu ye bw'aba nga zze ekyo tukiyita nga kinnya bamuyiwawo obuyiyi bwayiye wonna kati fenga ffe abakoleramu tubazekolamu omukolo tukola ki aba nga si mulungi netumuziikako kubanga ebyokumuziika
We found locals sifting through the trash in search of scrap metal and old plastic bottles that they sell to recycling companies. But as they wade through this landfill, they are oblivious of the fact that the medical waste they touch with their bare hands could be potentially deadly.
Osanga abamu baleeta bicupa njuza omwomu kati ekyamusala ekicupa tewali ddwaliro eriri awo kumpi oluusi n'amazzi ebyokweyonja nabyo tebirabika tooyi kabuyonjo zonna tetuzirabako byebuzibu byetusanga dumping site yaffe waliwo bino bikasasiro ebibeera mu ddwaliro abantu bajja ne babisuula wano okumpi oluusi abamu ng'abisudde wano oli abatamanyi bwaba walimu ebisala agenda okukwatamu nga bimufunisa kimanyi bantufuniddeyo ekifo nga waliwo section nga bateekamu bino ebiva mu ddwaliro nga bino byolaba ebirimu omusaayi mayisoyiso biki biki netufuna we tubiteeka wala naye nga tetubiteeka wano kumpimpi.
We staked out at the dumping site for a day, hoping to find which trucks dumped their rubbish here, and after hours of waiting, this truck arrives with stickers of waste disposing company, Bins. The workers on the truck then start offloading the waste from the truck into the dumping site. We call the phone number on this truck, and the lady on the other end of the line introduces us to Bins.
Yes, good morning. You've called Bins.
Bins says they handle only domestic and hazardous waste, never medical waste. We ask how they dispose of the waste, and she says they treat it and completely destroy it.
Do you also do medical waste?
No, we don't.
So which waste do you handle?
Domestic
Domestic only.
and hazardous. Expired things like chemicals and all that, even expired products. Yes, we destroy it.
However, here we are with their truck in the middle of the Kumbakukora landfill. Environmentalist Robert Turiakira says this problem does not only affect the people of Nkumba, but is a greater issue for the whole Lake Victoria ecosystem.
Lake pollution is quite rampant, especially along the shores of most of our lakes, like Lake Victoria. And of course, once the lake is polluted, then it means that the ecosystem, the ecology of the lake is affected. And we all know that aquatic life can only be supported if the water is healthy, because the organisms that stay in the lake, in the water, must have access to oxygen. But the moment it is polluted, then they are suffocated. And of course, we have seen also some reports where, for example, some fish have actually been reported to having died, especially like along the Lake Victoria, because of pollution. So it's very, very disastrous. And of course, most cases we would have expected that whatever project that is going to take place along what we call ecologically sensitive areas, they must have what we call the environmental and social impact assessment. But it appears the project you're talking about, in this case, did not follow those guidelines. And for us as environmental conservationists, we are so concerned, and we think that NEMA, the National Environment Management Authority, should be able to be on the lookout, because it should be the one to ensure that our lakes and rivers are protected, and especially the people who stay around the lakeside and river banks must ensure that they protect the areas of the lake around that area. Yeah. So pollution is very, very, very dangerous, especially aquatic life, but also for the people staying around the area who derive their livelihood from the lakes.
This Google map shows you an aerial view of the dumping site right next to Lake Victoria. In recent decades, 50 million people have settled on the shores of Lake Victoria, and that number is projected to double in the next 30 years. Riding by boat on Lake Victoria now, one can see the color of the water changing, no longer the clear water in the middle of the lake, but a dark green, something that worries scientists about the future of Africa's largest lake. The effects of water pollution are not only devastating to people, but also to animals, fish, and birds. Polluted water is unsuitable for drinking, recreation, agriculture, and industry. It diminishes the aesthetic quality of lakes and rivers. More seriously, contaminated water destroys aquatic life and reduces its reproductive ability. Eventually, it is a hazard to human health. Nobody can escape the effects of water pollution. Gloria Atuhaire, News 24/7.